Good afternoon mga katribu. Welcome to another episode of Kalingang Katribu, Usapang Business. I am your host, Kim Sancha. For today, we'll be talking with the CEO of a global sauce company named Kissflow. And I have here the CEO of the Kissflow, Suresh Sambandam. He is actually an expert and renowned entrepreneur on a mission to democratize cutting edge technologies and help enterprises seamlessly orchestrate their work through an intuitive blend of collaboration, coordination, and control. He has three US patents to his credit. He co-founded Asas Buni, Asia's number one and largest SaaS community for SaaS founders. So he is passionate about entrepreneurship, technology, startups, and spends a significant amount of time in the startup ecosystem, mentoring young companies. So, good afternoon, Suresh.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great, and I loved your music, the opening music. I was just literally enjoying that.
Okay, that's great to hear. So,
It's very pleasant and very nice, very unconventional.
oh, thank you. It has to be that way because we need to be like lively or cheerful. We're talking about your business. So, Suresh, at the moment, where are you? I mean, can you tell us where are you at the moment?
I'm in India, in the southern tip of India, in a state called Tamil Nadu. I live in a city called Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the top 5 cities in India. Yeah, we speak a local language called Tamil.
Okay, that's great. Okay, let's begin our conversation this hot afternoon here in the Philippines. So, can you tell us the role does customer experience play in the digitalization of the banking industry?
Sure. I think when we talk about banking industry, there is this normal view about consumer banking,
Right.
right? So, but the banking industry, there are 10 different banking services. Like the one that we are commonly known is really the consumer banking or the retail banking, but there is commercial banking, there is investment banking, there is private banking, there is corporate banking, there is asset management, wealth
Mm-hmm.
management, internet banking, rural banking, and there is also Islamic banking,
Mm.
right? So there are a number of banking services. So the customer experience services for these different categories of banking actually varies a lot,
Mm-hmm.
right? The one that we are commonly exposed to is the consumer banking or the retail banking services. So in this new era, we expect everything to happen in one click. So if you really think about it, if I want to transfer some money, we want to happen it in like less than a minute or in few seconds. So and they don't want people don't want to talk to anyone, get stuck up anywhere. The customer experience is low touch, highly automated, and self-service. That's the new era of banking services. So more and more people are disintermediating human touch and making it self-service enabled. So that's the new mantra, or rather, already it's most of those mantra in retail banking is
Mm-hmm.
already happening for customer experience.
Exactly. I actually agree with what you said. I love the word you use, mantra. So yeah, based on my experience, I really love to like do a smooth and fast transaction, especially when it comes to banking and finances. I agree on what you said. So, Suresh, how can the right vision and goals of our customer experience in banking and finances or banking and finance therefore support successful digital transformation?
Yeah. See, the real issue is that if you really look at any banking service today,
Right.
bulk of the front end services, which is the internet banking services, are slowly getting in place,
Mm-hmm.
and the core banking services are also in place. So the front end, which the customers use, that's in place.
Mm-hmm.
Then the back end, which is the banks internally use, which is their core banking services, is already in use. What is not there in place is a lot of things happen between the front end and the back end, right? That is where the bank employees do stuff at their company, like you raise, let's say, a cash credit
Mm-hmm.
or a overdraft facility request, you that doesn't come as a self-service requirement. Now you apply and it goes to an employee, then employee does a credit check, it needs to get an internal approval, and it goes on forever by the time the person who asked for overdraft facility actually gets that. So those middle processes, what is called as the middle office processes inside a bank, is totally manual, maybe runs on emails and spreadsheets and manual approvals, and it takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
So the customer experience actually takes it for a beating, because while the internet banking services does like 50-60% of those services, when it comes to services like, let's say, overdraft facility or cash credit or
Mm-hmm.
guarantors and all that stuff, right? So those processes are manual and not automated. So a vision for true digital transformation vision is something that requires all the three layers in place,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So the layers related to the front end, the back end, and the middle office functionality. All of those basically together form a great vision for the bank.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Suresh, that's actually a good thing that you pointed out. So, how about the completion of the reliance on its team proved? Is it detrimental to digital transformation, in your point?
So sorry, I missed your
Okay,
question.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How can complete reliance on its teams prove detrimental to digital transformation? What do you think about that?
What IT teams?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the if you really look at it, the
Mm.
future is going to be IT teams are going to be mostly enabling teams.
Right.
So they provide the technology, they provide the infrastructure, they provide the governance, they provide the security, control mechanisms,
Right.
audit, traceability, availability, reliability, resilience, fault tolerance, and all those infrastructure that is required to make a enterprise system work very reliable. I think more and more IT teams are going to go there, and they're going to also rely heavily on a collaboration with the business teams, because the business teams have the domain knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So there is going to be this beautiful partnership between the IT teams and the business teams coming together. Business teams come with the domain knowledge. IT teams provide the technology and the platform that is required to make these things work together. And that is where the citizen developer paradigm actually fits in beautifully. Um, in, in, in the Philippines, we have a large bank
Mm-mm.
uh, which uses 18,000 of their employees. Their entire bank is running on KISSFlow.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very a telling example of how the citizen development, the IT, and the business teams come together and work as a single unit
Yes.
to make digital transformation and innovation happen.
Right. So, in connection on my previous question, I'm talking about the reliance, right? So, Suresh, how can the use of shadow it to decrease reliance on its teams? Maybe, I don't know, if it's creating further detriment to the digital transformation of the banking industry.
Yeah. See, you're talking about shadow IT.
Yes.
Shadow IT is an old concept, although it still exists. But one of the ways to eliminate shadow IT is not to ignore it, but recognize that exists and embrace it proactively. So
Right.
if I am a CIO of a large bank, for example, I won't really turn a blind eye towards shadow IT, but actually embrace it more proactively, because that's the reality. So this is exactly where you deploy citizen developer tools like low code, no code platforms, and bring shadow IT into the gambit of enterprise IT's governance and control mechanism,
Mm-hmm.
so that you really know what's going on there, so that if someone leaves, you have the data, you have the backup, you have the business logic, everything is protected, it's access controlled, and some intellectual property is not left sitting idle in some user's computer. So you want everything to be centralized in a single enterprise systems, and that's really how I see enterprise CIOs, especially in
Mm-hmm.
banks, need to handle the shadow IT. So the summary is not to ignore it, but embrace it proactively and bring them into the IT's gambit.
Right. Okay. Uh, there's a lot more questions to be asked to you, Suresh. But before that, Usapang Business will take a short break. Stay tuned.
Sure.
Iba ng panahon, ang dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nagbago na rin. Buti ano bayan, bigger, better na. You can buy it sa centers, pati sa mga partners, may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers, still don't remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anumang pera transaction, you can buy it all. Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
With Globe, our steps can lead us to millions of doors opening, millions of paths unfolding, and millions of reasons to keep going. Now's the time to be with a network that gets better every day for you.
Fiber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
Good afternoon, and you're still watching Usapang Business. And still with me is Suresh Sambandam. And just so you know, founded in 2004, KissFlow is an industry pioneer that provides a unified low-code, no-code work platform for enterprises to digitally transform business operations globally. It brings enterprise IT and business users together to transform operations by embracing the low-code, no-code paradigm. It enables every enterprise users to build and manage apps, processes, tasks, analytics, integration, and collaboration in a single unified platform. KissFlow's suite of work management products are used by 15,000 plus customers across 160 countries to create a digital workplace where work gets done seamlessly. I hope I get it right, or I hope our writer get it right, Suresh. Is that it?
Yeah, you're 100% there.
Okay, great. I can see that you're wearing like, is it like a turtleneck, Kiss Flow? So let me just ask, why is it Kiss Flow? Why did you choose the name Kiss Flow?
Yeah. So KissFlow, it is initially we started as a workflow, low code, no code workflow platform. Now we have become a full-fledged app development, case management, process automation, analytics, task management. Everything is an all-in-one suite. So the flow is what was the code name, but the core value for flow our product was simplicity, and we found that KISS stands for Keep It Simple Stupid. Uh, it is a popular phrase in America. So we wanted to combine the simplicity of KISS principle and the flow, and we got it KISS flow.
Okay, that's great. All right, so just to continue our conversation, Suresh, uh, how would a unified platform bring together both IT and business users?
See, in today's experience, the way IT and business users work is that business basically simply gives the requirements in a document
Mm-hmm.
and then expects IT to do some magic in 2-3 months and then come back and produce something exactly as they expected, right? And although we apply things like agile development methodology and all of these things, still there is always the gap between what business imagines and what technology teams deliver. But the technology teams are very good at programming. IT is very good in their requirements. We need to agree to this because this is undisputable. Because the business teams know exactly what they want, but sometimes they may not be able to communicate that.
Mm-hmm.
IT teams know exactly how to do it, right? And because of there's a communication gap between what they want and what they realize and what they communicate, there is always uh, a fight between IT and business that happens. What platforms like KissFlow? I'm not saying there are very, very few platforms like KissFlow which brings IT and business together, which essentially what it does is allows business to translate what they have in their mind as requirements in a platform directly, as forms, as workflow steps and stuff like that. But when it comes to complex programming needs like integration and stuff like that, then IT comes together and then stitches that gap. So that way, both these teams can collaborate and make digital transformation happen. So in this paradigm, what typically takes for 3 months can be done in like 3 weeks, or sometimes even a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are basically crunching months and months of efforts into a few days and weeks. So that's the kind of a paradigm shift that we are talking about. It's a combination of technology that is provided by KissFlow, but also a change in working model where business and IT co-create rather than you give a spec, I will disengage, come back after a few weeks, months, and then show you something, right? So it doesn't work like that. So in this paradigm, the benefits are exponential.
Okay, great. So, honestly, the next question is, this is actually something new for me, and I hope you can explain it like clearly and further, Suresh. What is this term, citizen development?
So citizen development is a term like typically development is done by a core set of people who have the programming skills,
Okay.
and they are called developers.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are a lot of people who have business knowledge. They are like citizens,
Right.
but not developers. They're like normal citizens in an employee, in an employer, in a company. Like if there are, let's say, 10,000 employees in a company, where there are 100 developers,
Mm-hmm.
but then 9,900 are end users. So in the end users of 9,900, there are like 1,000 people who are very tech savvy people who have the domain knowledge or the business knowledge, but they don't have the programming knowledge like a developer. What they lack is a platform or a technology that can enable their intellectual knowledge to be readily transformed to a working software without having to do hardcore programming. And those people are called the citizen developers who use tools like KissFlow and make their vision come true. But what KissFlow does is, if you do purely enable the business users alone, you will not be able to do governance. So we bring IT also together so that IT can provide governance. So we stitch all the loose ends and provide innovation and empowerment so that the digital transformation can be achieved.
Okay, that's very nice to explain it. So at least, in a way, I understood it. So since we're talking about the citizens development, do you think that it can contribute to an inclusive approach to digital transformation?
Exactly. So if you really have to achieve exponential speed in digital transformation, the only way to achieve this by including people who have the domain knowledge into the process. So we in Kissflow we call it people closer to the problem know how to solve it better. Like the more a person is far away from the problem,
Right.
the more difficulty is going to have in solving that problem. So the business users are closer to the problem. What they lack is the technology and the platform to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what we are trying to solve here.
Okay. So, in connection or still in connection with the citizen development. So, what do you think is the role of citizen development play in creating the customer experience necessary for successful digital banking?
Yeah. So if you remember the first example I gave you, like let's say a overdraft facility.
Mm-hmm.
So a overdraft facility, for example, there are a lot of rules that keeps changing as a business.
Right.
Now, traditionally, if an application is built by IT for doing the overdraft facility processing application, and any business rules that changes, it by the time it's implemented in that software and rolled out for the consumption, we're talking about few months, if not sometimes even years.
Right.
So when citizen developers are involved, what happens is they quickly able to go back to the application, the workflow, and edit the rules, the logic, everything like pretty much instantly. There is a staging environment. They push it into the staging environment, and there is a testing that happens instantly. And then the governance and control structures are enforced. Once that is done, they push a button, it goes live. So with citizen developers coming in picture, a change like this can happen sometimes in days, even in hours, it's possible. If you have the proficiency, if you build the proficiency and the practice over time, you can even do these kind of changes within few hours, which probably takes months and months of what you call elapsed time in the traditional paradigm.
Okay. Great. So, Suresh, Kissflow has been in the business since 2004, and you are about to celebrate, I think, next year, right? The 20-year anniversary of Kissflow. So, what can we expect from Kissflow?
Yeah. See, one of the things is we are very heavily gearing ourselves towards AI, bringing AI
Yes,
mainstream into Kissflow.
agree.
Yeah, so we are going to see ability for citizen developers, even IT, to just chat with Kissflow AI, and then say, you know what, I want to create like what do you call overdraft approval workflow with these kind of fields, blah blah blah, and then push a button,
Mm-hmm.
it automatically generates an application on the go. And what that's going to be radically powerful. So we have invested heavily on this, and most likely we will make a big announcement combining with our 20th anniversary.
Okay, so that's great. So, Suresh, at this moment, I'm giving you the time if you want to say something, maybe invite, or what can we expect, or maybe what do you want to say about Kissflow in the future?
Sure. First of all, thank you for that opportunity.
You're welcome.
Kissflow is the most powerful platform. If anyone is thinking about a low-code platform for automating your internal workflows, implementing digital transformation, whether you're a bank or a manufacturing or a retail, because we are a industry agnostic tool, Kissflow, you should definitely look at Kissflow because that is really one of the topmost solutions and the most cost-effective solutions, as well as the most time to market and time to value solution that's there in the market.
Okay. Suresh, thank you so much for joining me here or for gracing Usapang Business this afternoon. Here here in the Philippines and you in India back there. Thank you so much for gracing the show and good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye. There you have Hello, Suresh Sambandam. And thank you mga Katibo for tuning in. Watch us every Monday at 3:30 p.m. on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube. Again, I am Kim Sancha and this is Kalingang Katribu, Usapang Business.